Joining us now, we're very happy to welcome back actor, singer, and former California resident Robert Davi, the one and only Robert Davi. Robert, what's your reaction to this story?
Well, thank you for having me, Liz. Well, I'm enraged still. After being in California 46 years and understanding that wildfires were a thing that we were worried about continually, even in 2009, when Schwarzenegger, who we don't see eye to eye with many political things with him, he was one time a good friend, but he had a wildfire emergency service that Bettenhauser, who was heading that up, to clean out the needle, to clean out the fire stuff. Instead of Gavin Newsom, for the last year and a half, campaigning for Biden, going around red states, criticizing what's happening in red states, he should have gone around the country telling Californians to clean up, that we need to have a major thing to clean up these, the brush and also the reservoirs. He should have focused on that and not this political tap dance. And the joy that he gave when he said, California, we're going to rebuild California 2.0, that turned my stomach. I mean, to smile.
A lot of people in California are outraged. They want him thrown out of office, recalled, charged with criminal negligence. We talked to people in California, but now we've got extreme fire warnings moving further south into San Diego. There was at least two brush fires in San Diego, also Riverside County. So what do you make of President Trump? He's going to visit North Carolina and then go to L.A. He wants to rebuild both. He just signed an executive order to reroute water from the north down to Southern California. Robert, we saw reports at least half to 95% of California's rainwater goes into the Pacific Ocean.
Pete Wilson in 1990 had a bill. The Democrats killed it. He was governor then. He wanted to build reservoirs to collect the rainwater. I think President Trump should do a national referendum on that. He should meet with maybe Schwarzenegger, who understood the environmental issues, not pretend he understood them like Newsom does for photo ops. They should build the reservoirs, collect the rainwater, even think about desalinization plants that in Saudi Arabia and other areas, they have high tech. Right there on the ocean, that Malibu coast you're talking about, Liz, that has 300 million, all that devastation. Imagine if there was desalinization plants, what they could use during the fire, and find out how to do the offshoot.
You know, and Robert, you know, you make a great point, too, that he was focused on doing things like fighting with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, while just basically California is, the fires are not over. They act like when, you know, Gavin Newsom is going to see more fires coming down the road. But we want to get your reaction to President Trump and to also Speaker Johnson. Speaker Johnson says, yes, tie conditions to the aid for California. They got to be more accountable and stand up. Watch this.
We're going to be issuing an executive order demanding that they immediately let that water come down through California. Farmers, even people living in Beverly Hills, they wanted to restrict you to 38 gallons of water a day. That sounds like a lot, but it's not. When you're a rich person and you like to take a shower, 38 gallons doesn't last very long. And they have all this water, and it's really good water. Up high.
Yeah, we're talking about conditions to this disaster. Look, there are natural disasters, but there are man-made disasters as well, and they made terrible decisions. You know, they knew exactly what they were doing. That reservoir outside Pacific Palisades, 117 million gallons, it was empty for a year. They made decisions that made that disaster exponentially worse, and this is what the American taxpayer is demanding of us everywhere else in the country.
Robert, what's your take on what you just heard?
Again, something that is the frustration and the left. They don't solve problems, they create problems. When I was in California, as I said, 46 years, we left 3 years ago, you had to have, as the president said, President Trump said, 38 gallons. That wasn't just in Beverly Hills, that was in a lot of parts of California. You couldn't water your lawns. You couldn't do certain kind of irrigation because they were conserving. When all this rain, and I think there should be conditions. Absolutely. When you have a political body, as in California, that are basically run by the Democrats, that are not really taking care of that state, that beautiful state at one time, and have done policies in terms of crime, in terms of the environment, everything else. That has to be accountable. Also, the Hollywood community, I have to go back at that because they're so vocal on everything, Liz. They're so, except this, it's quiet. I still haven't heard a soundbite from Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert or any of the Hollywood elites talking about Gavin Newsom has to be held accountable for what happened in California. And until they start stepping up and saying the truth to the people of California so they understand what the issues are. And I think there should be conditions, absolutely.
Well, thank God for Robert Davi. He brings it. He really tells it like it is. Robert, you're terrific. Thank you so much. Good to see you.